Hey everyone, in this video we'll be learning about .NET MAUI grouping in our collection view or as well as the list view in C#. So we'll be using pure C# to get this type of grouping where A equals to Alice, and if J equals to J, then we are going to group two items as Jane as well as John. So from the API, if you get a list of items, then we are going to group, but we'll be using a very easy way to implement it in C#. So this is the tutorial that is after the .NET MAUI grouping in XAML. So the same way we'll be using it in C#, the XAML, the easy way, 35 number tutorial. So I'll be giving the playlist link in my video's description below and along with the source code too. So let's get started. So at first, you know that we'll be adding the plugin name as .NET MAUI core community toolkit core markup as well as the MAUI. The markup is needed for this project for our C# tutorial. And what I have done is I have initiated a UI. So here you can see, I'll just drag it over here. It is one of the best and easiest way that I have found over here. So what I have done is we are going to call this UI from our app shell, that is our starting page. Okay, so what I'm going to do is same as how our XAML was done. We'll be just creating a grid. Okay, I'll just create a grid having two rows. Okay, in grid.row0 I previously used to add some entry, but here in this tutorial I just need a collection view with the grouping, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to create a my collection view. Okay, as a my collection view means a class that extends from a collection view, means in order to make it really simple to learn. So same thing, a collection view is going to be binded with the view model. So item source and then the shared view model, the view model class, that is UI is getting binded with the view model, right? So we are going to add the source property for that specific collection view that extends from a collection view. This is just a initialization of the name of a collection view class. Okay, so I have not done anything over here except small changes. Okay, small and very basic changes, that is how we have done in our XAML too. Okay, that is our header as well as this is the body. Okay, so header as well as the body. Okay, so header is binded with key and body is binded with the name and the age. Okay, so same thing that needs to be done in our XAML. Okay, so here you can see the name is binded with the header is binded with the key, and name and the age is binded with the data. Okay, so from the source. All right, so same thing, the set binding as name, set binding as age. Okay, so the set just a text property, it has other properties too, but we are only binding the name as well as age, and then we are going to return the stack layer as a item template. Okay, so that is the body. So this is the body of a collection view. Okay, but we need another property name as is grouped equals to 2, how we have done in our C# means XAML 2 is grouped equals to true. Okay, same thing we are going to do over here. And group header template means the topmost part, the top UI, how we want to make it look like. So we can just create 2 labels, 3 labels, or anything as we like, but the main thing that we'll be focusing is the binding the key. Okay, so same thing that how we have already done in our XAML, the same thing we are going to do is in our C# too. So our main and major thing over here is our view model implementation. Okay, so same as XAML implementation, what I have done is I'll just minimize the code because I don't want to show it to you. This is the one implementation. Okay, observable collection that gets inherited from a bindable object for our property change event. That is how we have already done in our previous tutorial too. Okay, from our person class, this is the person model class, this is the model file. Okay, so you can just create one class named as my model and put it over there because we don't want that. So name and the age is going to get a observable collection property, and here you can see over here I have added a grouping as a string as well as person. Okay, so that is basically is going to tell that the data that is coming from the API or database or anything, okay, is coming from as a list, but we want to group the data. That means If J is there, then John and Jane will be there. If B is there, then Bob is going to be grouped. Okay, so that is how the grouping works. So here I have applied the link query. In our previous tutorial too, I have already shown how the link query works, and in this tutorial what I'm just going to do is, like, from a list of item, create a variable, and then in that variable, in that specific variable class, I have name as well as age. So I can do anything. Okay, so the name is going to get ordered by, okay, by the name or the age, and if it is ordered by age, then the list 21 and then 26, it will come like this. Okay, but the next thing what we need to do is, over here is this, the line of code that is really important. That is, like, we are going to group that specific variable person by person.name. That means the name of the person is getting grouped. Okay, and then what we are going to add, that name of that specific person is into another variable, where this variable is going to get passed through a class. Okay, grouping class, that in the form of key as well as the value. Okay, so all the person which were grouped as a form of string are going to be passed over here in this class, and then it gets added to the item source, and this is getting returned to the grouped item people. Okay, so this group people is going to again bind it to the people group, that is a observable collection where the UI is already in is encapsulated with. Means the UI calls the view model for a person grouped observable class, and this observable class is a collection of grouped people on the basis of names. Okay, so that is it. So that's all for this tutorial now. Thank you guys, thanks for watching. Keep in touch for our next tutorials.